So this section is 6.1, simple interest. I'm going to go through the video or the PowerPoint a little bit to get some definitions, and then I'll switch back and forth to the worksheet. But some vocabulary. Interest. Interest is rent paid for the use of another's money. Principal or present value, the amount of the deposit or loan. And that's the breakdown of the simple interest formula. And the future value of a deposit is the amount of money on the deposit after a given period of time. What that really means is A is your value after you add the interest to it. So here's your principal plus your interest. So if $8,000 is invested in 2 years at an annual interest rate of 9%, how much interest will be received at the end of the 2-year period? What is the future value? So the future value, if we look at that formula, and get my board to work. So future value is A equals P plus I. Well, we know that the principal, what we started with, is 8,000. But we have to find the interest. So we're going to come over here and find interest. I equals PRT. I equals principal times rate times time. And our problem, this is P, this is R, and this is time. And it has to be in years. So we have 8,000 times 0.09 times 2. And that equals 1440. And that's interest, so it would be money. Now we're going to take the interest and add it to our principal. And now we have found the future value. So this would be the amount of the future value. Okay. Okay, 4,000 is borrowed for 39 weeks at an annual interest rate of 15%. How much is due at the end of the 39 weeks? Again, that is future value. We're trying to find what we're going to owe in the future, or what we're going to be due in the future. So first we've got to find interest. There's P. This is R. And this is T, but it's not in years. So in years we would have to say divided by 52, because there's 52 weeks in a year. So I equals P, which is 4,000, times your interest, which is 0.15, times your time, which we'll say is 39 over 52. And that gives you $450. And that is your interest. So we add that to the principal. So 4,000 plus the interest, which gives us $4,450. So this is the future value. This is the interest paid on that value. Okay. This says find the simple interest rate. Alright, so again, I equals P RT. So Exxon was bought for this much money. After 6 months, so this is P, this is the original. After 6 months, which means we've got to change that to 6 over 12, so we have years, the value of stock had risen by $138. and dividends totaling this much. So this is what they got back. So that would be your interest that you received on $6,125, which is your principal, times your time, times R, because we don't know what the rate is. So we multiply this together, and then divide this by 6. And so R equals 0.047, which as a percent would be 4.7%. So the simple interest rate was 4.7%. If $1,000 is invested at 5% simple interest, how long will it take to grow to this much? So, if we have an interest formula, I equals P times R times T, this is the amount invested, so that's P. Here's the interest, the rate, which is 0.05. And what we're trying to find is how long. So we're trying to find T. So we're given P, we're given R, and we're not given T. So we've got to have I. Well, if it's going to get to 1100, that means our interest made was 100. So I is the 100, P is 1,000, R is 0.05 times T. And that gives you 50 divided. So T equals 2. So it would take 2 years for it to grow to $1,100. Okay, so on this one, how much must the firm pay now, deposit now, to have enough money to pay the bill when it comes in 90 days later? So A equals P plus I. And so we're going to have to find I. And they want to know how much we have to deposit now, so that's going to be X. Our rate is 0.12.